Hey everyone, Jason Weckerle here. Today, it's my brother Jesse's 30th birthday. It's 70 degrees out in February and we're fishing Milwaukee Harbor for some brown trout and steelhead. We brought shiner minnows and bobbers to throw out. We brought all sorts of different lures. If we catch anything, I'll show you guys how we did it. Let's get out there. You ready to catch some fish, Jesse?
I'm ready.
All right. For the shiner minnows and the spawn sacks that I brought along, I got some spawn sacks tied up from brown trout eggs. They're old spawn sacks, but I've had them in the freezer. They look like they're still good. But I got a rod rigged up with 6 to 8 pound monofilament, and I'm using about a 5 to 6 foot 6 pound test fluorocarbon leader to a size 6 or number 8 single hook. You can go with either or, but it's just a basic slip bobber setup. Just a bobber stop, a bead, slip bobber, swivel, smallest swivel you can find and get away with, and that's tied to the leader. Like I said, it's about a 5 foot long leader, but I got that on a medium light action 8.5 to 9.5 foot rod, and I'm just going to use a small shiner minnow on both of the slip bobbers for now. We got brown trout coming up out here. Let's try to make it happen. We got 2 slip bobbers out, one over here and one farther down the wall over here. And if I can get this hook out of my sleeve, there you go. I'm gonna throw a 1/4 ounce Lewis Rattle Trap. Start the day out with that. My brother's gonna throw a Rapala Etz wrap in black and gold with an orange belly. When I'm throwing these rattle traps, I just like to let them sink down for a bit. And I just keep the rod tip down and keep it going steady. Every once in a while I'll pause it briefly, then I'll pick it up and get it going again. Anything that mimics the shad, the alewife, bait fish in this lake will get any trout and salmon or predator fish like a bass or pike going. I've caught smallmouth in here, I've caught pike, brown trout, steelhead, coho, cane salmon. These brown trout and steelhead love to cruise along these rocky shores looking for food, and they spawn right along these rocks. So I always like to cast my lures down the rocks, down the shorelines, kind of throw in a fan casting type style. Sometimes they'll hang right on the bottom of the drop off, coming off these rocky shorelines. Sometimes they're right up on top of it, but it's always good to work the shorelines when you're trout fishing. Pretty much any type of fishing, whether you're bass fishing, trout fishing, it doesn't matter. Those predator fish like to use those shorelines and those structures that drop off. We might have had a bite on one of our slip bobbers before the bobber was getting messed with. Another retrieve that you can do with these rattle trap baits, or if you're using a Rapala rip and wrap, you just let that bait sink down, keep your rod tip up. I'm letting this sink all the way to the bottom. You'll know when it hits the bottom when your line goes completely slack. You just rip it up, let it fall, rip it up, let it fall. You'll feel the rod tip vibrate. Oh, got one, got one. Get those lines in. Guess they wanted the jigging technique right on the bottom. All right. Sorry if I yelled in your guys' ears. Oh, that's a good one. Yep. Looks like a big silver sea forel and brown trout. Might be a steelhead. It's been a while since I felt this. Yeah, it's a steelhead. Yeah. Oh man. That is awesome. Hopefully I don't lose them. Oh, it's a brown trout actually. Super silver one. Here, let's get her unhooked.
Recording now?
Yeah. All right. That is the first fish of the morning. Hopefully not just one fish, but that is a beautiful one. I'm gonna try to get this fish back carefully over here. There she goes. I don't normally like releasing them like that, but if you try to get down these rocks, you can end up hurting yourself and the fish, or dropping it down the rocks. But that was caught on the 1/4 ounce rattle trap, jigging it right up off the bottom. Awesome fish. It was a female, but she was spawned out. I might take some eggs today if I get any fish, but that's a good start to the day. Got one brown trout. My brother's throwing a Rapala rip and wrap, blue and silver. Oh, got one. Got one. Even before it hit the bottom. Are you serious? When it was sinking, I just felt thump. Holy mackerel, dude. I just almost had the rod ripped out of my hand. Holy crap. I was letting the bait sink down to the bottom like I showed you guys. All of a sudden, I just felt super hard thump on my line. I think we'll be good. You can just grab the net. This feels like a big fish. Oh yeah. Big fish. Looks like the other one a little bit, but a little bit bigger perhaps. Those fish look beautiful coming up.
Yeah.
Look at that. There we go. Whew. Cannot believe that. I didn't even work the bait.
Yeah.
You gotta get one, birthday boy.
I know.
He's like, he's gotta stop catching them.
Switch spots.
Switch spots. They're not right there, they're here. Folks, that is the second brown trout I just caught within 5 minutes. Big sea forellen brown trout. These aren't German browns. These are sea forellen browns. But another nice fish. I'm gonna try to gently put them back. There she goes. As long as you get them close enough to the water and nose down, they seem to just torpedo right in there and take off. But that fish hit even before the bait hit the bottom. I didn't work it, nothing. That goes to show you, I guess, be ready at any time for a bite. But my brother's got to get one now. All right, now we got two brown trout. Got the bobbers set back out with the shiner minnows. I like to use no larger than a medium shiner, but small shiners are normally what I use for the brown trout. But that last fish hit even before it hit the bottom, and now I'm ready for him because I was not expecting that, and I could have lost my rod getting it torn out of my hands. I set my slip bobbers deeper because I've been getting most of my bites near the bottom. I believe it's about 18 to 22 feet off this wall. Now my brother has to get one. I hope he gets one today for his 30th birthday. Well, the bite sort of slowed down the past hour after I caught those first two fish. I had one more bump on my rattle trap lure after that. We might move around, but it's just one of those things where I know the fish cruise all throughout this area. And I know there's more where that came from, but we're probably gonna hit a couple more spots today. We'll see how we feel. Just wanted to show you guys what I'm gonna try right now. This is an 1/8 ounce darter head jig with a 4-inch Lunker City finesse fish, they call this. Zoom makes the Fluke that also is the same body as this. You can use 3 to 4 inch Berkeley Gulp minnows, but the darter head in 1/8, 1/4, and 3/8 ounce is a key bait around Lake Michigan, whether you're jigging out in your boat or you're sitting here fishing off a shore. These fish target shad and alewife bait fish, so anything that's white, silver and white. Brown trout love chartreuse green also, you can't neglect that, but this is a good color. It's called ice shad. I'm gonna see if maybe we can get some fish jigging today. All right, so I'm jigging this 1/8 ounce darter head jig with the Lunker City finesse fish plastic, and I just do kind of a snap of the wrist, let it fall. The only reason I reel it is just to pick up the slack. It's kind of like working the rattle trap bait you saw me using before, just a little bit more of an aggressive pop of the wrist. I've caught a lot of trout and salmon on these plastic minnows over the years. Most guys are using spawn sacks right now that I'm seeing catching fish in videos, and buddies of mine are fishing the rivers and harbors, telling me they've been getting a lot on spawn. But I seem to do really good kind of mimicking the bait fish out here with my lures. Oh, I just got hit. I don't know if that was a little one or a big one. I just saw the whole jig and I felt it. We haven't gotten anything going on the shiner minnows yet. We might have had one getting played with, but slip bobbers have been quiet all morning. It's about 9 o'clock now and we got a bluebird sky, which I don't prefer when you're fishing clear water especially. We haven't gotten a bite in a while either. We just switched spots. We moved farther down the wall. We were down on the opposite end where I caught my fish. Now we're down on this end. Just seeing if these fish are cruising right through this corner like they do sometimes. We got the slip bobbers out over here. Kind of got a crosswind going on right here, so they're kind of blowing into our spot right here, but we should be able to work with it just fine. All right, on the jig and plastic minnow, first bite I got in like 2 hours, but I was just jigging it off the wall. Vertical jigging. Wow. Oh. Got that on the darter head jig.
Yeah.
I was just talking to a guy, and well, I know you know that already, Jesse. You were watching.
I didn't know you pressed play.
All right, I gotta get this guy home. It's his 30th birthday. This is my youngest sibling. I got a sister and a brother, and he turned 30 today. He didn't catch any fish, unfortunately, But that's all on him. That's his fault. That's you look really tired.
Oh,
If
yeah.
if you guys like this video, subscribe to my page, hit the like button. We'll be going on more trout adventures this spring. A lot of walleye and panfish adventures, bass, pike, catching all that good stuff. Take care and good luck fishing.